I'd rather laugh with the sinners, by Jack Bates. They stand on the corner in the freezing cold, watching the traffic on the street. They could have stayed at their high-top table by the window and watched the road, but Bassett got antsy. He wanted to be out there when the car arrived, apparently making guys like the Kelly brothers wait as you made your way to the door through a Friday night crowd like there was in a place like the Greenfelt sent the wrong message. So they put on their coats and went out into the cold to wait for the car to pull up to the curb. Modorsky pulls on his gloves. The pair is knitted and thick. The fingers look like gray sausages with bent ends. "What time were they supposed to be here?" 8:30, says Bassett. "What time is it now?" 8:50. "Maybe we missed them." "We didn't miss them." Bassett turns to Modorsky. "Do you have to wear those gloves?" "If I want to keep my fingers, yeah." "You're not going to get frostbite. Just keep your hands in your pockets." Modorsky shoves his hands into his pockets. Bassett turns away from him. "All right," Bassett says, "don't do that." "Do what?" "Put your hands in your pockets. You look like you're packing a piece." "Oh, for the love of—" Modorsky. He stops. A car makes a beat the red arrow left. He takes his hands out of his pockets. "Is this them?" Bassett stares at the car. "I don't know." "How do you not know?" "I don't know, okay? When I talked to Lucci—" "Who's Lucci?" "The guy that arranged the job. Lucci said the Kellys would pick us up in front of the Greenfelt at 8:30, and that the job would be done before 11. And this Lucci, he didn't tell you what they would be driving, and he didn't think to ask?" "It slipped my mind." "Well, did you ask about the job?" "Yeah." "You gonna share that with me?" "Not with all these people around." Modorsky shakes his head at the steady flow of pedestrian traffic. "Why did I agree to this?" The car they'd been watching stops on the other side of another car they stand next to on the sidewalk. The back door opens. Bassett steps towards the car. Modorsky hustles around to the opposite side, hugging the car to avoid being squished by the heavy traffic. The rear passenger door opens, nearly flinging Modorsky into the path of a limo. A man in a black trench coat pops out of the stopped car. He and Modorsky look at each other before the man hurries around behind the car to where Bassett stands, watching a leggy blonde woman in a faux fur coat slide out. The man is several inches shorter than the woman. He slides his arm around her waist and leads her into the Greenfelt. The car pulls away, leaving Modorsky on the hash marks between two lanes. Horns honk. Modorsky jumps back onto the curb. "Okay, this is bull," Modorsky says. "I'm out." "What do you mean you're out?" "I mean, I'm not doing this job." "You don't even know what the job is." "I know it's not worth freezing the petals off my stamen. I know it's never a good idea to not know what the job is." Bassett looks around. He leans closer to Modorsky, who pulls back, forcing Bassett to lean even closer to be heard. "It's a jewel heist." "A jewel heist? Where?" "Up the street." "Up the street? Why are they meeting us here? Why not just meet up at the store? And what kind of heist is it if it's on a busy street like this?" Bassett explodes. "I don't know. What's with all the questions? I thought you could use a little scoot like I need, and so I invited you to be part of the job." Modorsky steps back. He smiles and nods at some of the people that witnessed the Bassett meltdown. "Okay," Modorsky says. "Okay, I'll give them 10 more minutes, but if they don't show, I'm walking." "Fair enough." Modorsky sets a time on his phone. At 4 minutes 58 seconds, a 2013 Pontiac Vibe pulls up in front of the Greenfelt. A passenger window goes down. A young guy, maybe just turned 21, looks at Modorsky and Bassett. "You Lucci's friends?" "Yeah." "You the Kelly brothers?" Bassett asks. The driver leans forward. He looks identical to the passenger. "Why don't you post a picture if you're going to use our names?" "Get in," the passenger says. Modorsky goes back into traffic. He and Bassett slide into the back seat about the same time. The back is narrow. The Kellys ride with their seats back, leaving next to no legroom. The passenger, Kelly, turns around. He hands Modorsky and Bassett a small rubber mallet, a balaclava, and a black nylon bag with a drawstring. "I thought you said this was a heist." Modorsky looks at the tools. "This is a smash and grab." "That's what you two will be doing to distract, while Alan and I, the driving Kelly, punches the dashboard." "Stop using names!" The passenger Kelly shares a pathetic look with Modorsky and Bassett. Modorsky knows the passenger Kelly's frustration. "Fine. What do I call you?" "I'm driving, so call me driver." "Guess I'm passenger then." He points first at Bassett and says, "You're back seat." "Why am I back seat?" "Because I'm Mad Dog," says Medorsky. "Just a couple of quick questions for you, passenger. You said Backseat and I would be distractions." "Yeah, while you're trashing the front of the store, Driver and I will be in the back getting the really big pieces from the safe." "You have the combination?" "My girlfriend does," says Driver. "Finally," Medorsky says, "I can see a bona fide plan. Now, I don't know how much the three of you know about glass display cases, but these rubber mallets Backseat and I are supposed to use to break open the cases are going to bounce like a Super Ball on Saturday sidewalk." "I'm not sure I follow," passenger says, "but it sounds like you're saying those hammers won't do the job." "Not even close. They might crack it in spots, but ideally, you want something with a steel head or peen. A rubber mallet is designed to give a gentle strike so as not to damage what's being worked on." Passenger smirks at Driver. "Told you." "Shut up, Kevin." Passenger becomes indignant. "Oh, so now we're using names again?" They slap at each other. Guys! Hey, stop it!" Medorsky whistles. "Look, I'm sure this fine car of yours has a jack handle or a lug wrench in its wheel well. When we get there, we'll look. I'll do the smashing. Backseat will do the grabbing." "Why do you get to do the smashing?" Bassett asks. Medorsky gets in his face. "Because I'm Mad Dog." No one says anything for several blocks until Medorsky says, "Not to belabor the plot line we have going here, but who's the fence?" "The what?" Driver asks. "The fence. The person who pays us for the diamonds and jewelry. Who's buying the jewelry off of us?" A perplexed Driver asks, "Don't we just sell it to the pawn shops and other jewelers?" "No," Medorsky says. "It doesn't work that way. See, the owner of your girlfriend's store is going to have a manifest detailing every item up for sale. He or she will turn that manifest over to the police. Now, back in the day, the police sent memos to pawn shops telling them to be on the lookout for such and such a piece. In today's modern world, they input the information into a database, and the pawn shops get a notification. So I guess I'm asking, once we get the jewels, how do we sell them?" "Online?" Driver asks. "So we don't have a fence." "But we have a plan," says Bassett. "Part of one, at least. I say we go ahead and do the job and worry about dumping the goods later. Every day we hold on to the piece, the value drops. If we don't sell within 24 hours, we'll be lucky to get a third of the value." "That doesn't make any sense," Bassett says. "Why do the jewels depreciate?" "Because by then the jewelry store has filed a claim for the lost, stolen, or missing jewels. The store is no longer interested in the stolen goods. It replenishes its stock. Fences are reluctant to deal with items that have been shelved for too long because the cops have had more time to hunt them down. Hey, where is this store? We're almost out of the city and into the suburbs." "We passed it 20 minutes ago," says Driver. "This isn't going to work." "We have to make it work, Alan. Remember what that Lucci guy said." "Do this and do it right, or the next thing you'll do is dig your own grave." Medorsky turns to Bassett. "Your buddy Lucci tell you the same?" "Kind of. He said if I did this job, he'd erase my debt to him." "Debt for what?" "I wanted to put some cash on an important football game, but I was short." "How much short?" "All of it." "So this is literally a life or death job." No one says anything. Medorsky pulls on his balaclava. "All right, listen. Obviously this Lucci guy is expecting this to fail so he can get the three of you out of his world. But if we pull it off, he'll no doubt have a fence. Here's what we're going to do. Driver, turn us around and park in an alley 2 blocks from the store. While we're smashing and grabbing, you're letting the air out of one of the tires. We're not going to use a Pontiac Vibe as a getaway car. Once you're done with that, start walking back to the Greenfeld. Passenger, you go to the back door of the store. Backseat and I will go in the front and make as much noise as we can. Backseat, hold the mallet head and use the handle to break open the display case. Passenger, use your brother's phone to send his girlfriend a text saying you're bringing her dinner and she should have the door open for you. We'll want to be in and out in under 5 minutes. We separate and we stash the take along the way so we don't have the jewels on us if we get caught." Driver pulls into an alley. "Everyone know what to do?" Medorsky asks. "Where do we stash the jewels?" "About a block north of here is an old all-night diner. In the back is the men's room. In the stall by the wall is a loose piece of paneling. If you lift up on the coat hook, it frees the board. Put it in there. We'll meet there for breakfast tomorrow, and I'll bring a backpack." "Will it work?" "Even if it doesn't, I'd rather laugh with the sinners. They're much more fun." "All right, let's do this." Clocks tick as hours pass. A lone man with a book bag over his shoulder goes into an all-night diner. He sits at the counter and eats a piece of pie, drinks some coffee, pays with a 10 and a 5. He goes into the back and uses the restroom. When he comes out, only he knows his bag is heavier than when he went into the stall. He walks out into the night and disappears. He won't be meeting the others for breakfast.